Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you find yourself. Welcome back to Excel with Emmy Visa Preps. Without wasting much time, I'll share the link on the WhatsApp platforms and then we can start. So, if you're watching this later on, just wait for about 3 minutes and we should be good to go. I'll also drop the link if you want to be interviewed. Please join the link to be interviewed. Don't ask where you can get the link. I'll pin it in the comment section and then you join to be interviewed. All right, so I actually found a better way of answering the Empower financing questions. So for the whole of this week, we'll be going to say it in the the sessions so that you make sure that you are like you know what to say. Hi Eunice, welcome back. So I'm continuing to share the link. If you know someone who wants to join, please share the link with them and then we can start right away. If you are watching this session after the live, take your time and watch it. It's very, very informative. All right, let me drop the link and then if you want to be interviewed, we can start with that. All right, I'll share my WhatsApp link as well, Alfred. Anest said, Emmy. Hi, Anest. How are you doing? Welcome back to Excel with Emmy. If this is your first time, please do not hesitate to subscribe to the channel and then share the link to other people as well. We are doing this until the end of June, of the end of July. So every week we are going to do the live until the end of July. That's my current plan. So I just pinned a link, join, and then let's do an interview. Okay, so I just pinned the link. Please join. Let's do the interview session. I know most of your dates are getting closer. So the Alfred, for some reason, is not letting me add you. So I'm kicking you out and then you can join again. And next go to add you. Sam, please, if you join, meet your if you join, mute yourself. If you are using student loan today, we are going to learn a new way of answering the student loan to get your visa approved. You know, I've been researching about ways to make this better and then ways to make sure that if you are joining the live session, you get the most out of it by getting your visa approved. So if you are using the student loan, it will be good to stay on. Today I'm going to say another thing that will help you get your visa approved from someone who also help people. Mariam said, please, I have a question. My undergraduate transcript I'm taking to the embassy. Must it be addressed to the embassy? I don't get it. Mariam, can you join the call and ask your question? All right. Hi, Anest. How are you doing?
Hi, Emmy. I'm good. And
Yeah,
you?
I'm good. Anest, why are you here? We are starting
I'm
the session, so why are you here?
okay. I'm here to be interviewed for an F1 visa, which will enable me to pursue a master's degree in public administration with a concentration in non-profit management at Georgia Southern University for 2 years.
Okay. Ernest, how are you funding your studies?
I've been awarded a graduate assistantship, which covers my food tuition, part of my living expenses, and an annual stipend of $9,000. My deficit of $8,833 will be covered by my stepdad. He's in the person of Mr. Prosper Mensah, and he earns an average annual income of 50,000 US dollars. And he's the Southern Regional Manager of Ulam Foods Ghana. He's been working there for the past 15 years.
Ernest, we lost you. We lost
And
Ernest for it. Okay. Hi, Ernest. Hello. Eunice, are you ready to be interviewed?
Eunice or Ernest? Sorry.
Ernest network is not working, so let's do Eunice.
Okay, okay.
All right. Eunice, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Okay.
Eunice, why are you here?
I'm here for my F1 visa approval to grant me a legal access into the US to study a master's degree in cybersecurity at St. Louis University, Missouri, where I'll be working with Maria Weber, the director of cybersecurity at St. Louis University, and with the skills and knowledge I will gain in cybersecurity, vulnerability, and intrusion, I would come back to my home country, Nigeria, to take up a role as information security officer at and sorry at Ethnos Cyber Limited, Lagos State, Nigeria,
All right, so Eunice,
where
your
I'll
answer
be
was good until you started to fumble, right? So I was like, why are you
here.
here, right? So I'm here
Yeah.
to secure an F1 visa that will grant me the opportunity to go to the United States to study a Master of Global Business Management at Arizona State University. That's all. Why are you here? Like, you really don't need to say why you chose the program or something at that very point, okay? Eunice, how are you funding your studies?
Um, I'm
Eunice,
using Empower Loan.
okay. Um,
Yes.
no. So tell me, as a visa officer, I can see that you do not have
Okay.
any scholarship. How are you funding your studies?
Okay. Um, I was approved of a student loan from Empower, which has a 10 years, and the loan will cover my entire cost of study. It have a 10 years repayment plan, which I get to start paying 6 months after graduation. And with the skills and knowledge I'll get from this study at St. Louis University, I'll come back to my home country, Nigeria, to take up a role as information
Eunice,
security
how are
officer
you going
at
to pay
Ethnic.
your interest loan while you are in school?
Okay, for the interest in the loan, I would be my dad, Mr. Cletus Ajebo, who owns a private
Okay, so
company.
everyone on this call, this is where I found out that most people are getting denied because of the Empower financing, right? So if you are using a loan, you are indirectly telling us that you look through your circle. Your dad was not able to sponsor you. Your mom was not able to sponsor you. Neither was an uncle able to sponsor you. And so you went for a student loan, and then now you have to pay an interest loan, right? You have to make interest repayments, and then you are telling me as a visa officer that your dad is going to pay. If your dad was able to fund you studies while you are in school, why then go for a student loan? Do you get the analogy? So
Yeah.
as per my research, Empower is giving everybody that goes for the loan a huge lump sum of money when you get to the US. So from what I said, they said you are able to even get about 10,000 to 15,000, 20,000 lump sum. And we say if a money is lump sum, it means that you are getting a bulk money, right? From Empower, which will cover. So I can see that you have a student loan. Then the visa officer asks, how are you repaying your interest loan during your time of study? So Empower or my sponsor, which is Empower, will give me a lump sum amount of 15,000 upon arrival in the US, and this will help me cover my living expenses, my rent, and my monthly interest repayment, right? And then my rent is anticipated to be $350 a month, and then yeah, like your loan repayment is $600 a month, and so within then you spread, you guys, are you listening, that you spread the, let's say you are paying loan repayments of $600, right? And then you are doing what's the other thing, rent of 350, that's 950. So let's do the math. If Empower gave you um a lump sum of 615,000, then the calculation will be 15,000 divided by 950, right? It means that this money is going to take care of your loan repayment for 15 months. And if you are lucky and your program is over a period of 1.5 year, you are basically getting the same money from Empower to make the loan repayment. Do you get me? Eunice, so did the Empower, from the contract you got, did they say they are going to give you any money upon arrival in the US?
Yeah, like for mine, my approval is first week of August. That's when I come into school. So
So
it will be
they said
approved
they'll give
then.
you an amount. Did they say the amount?
Yeah. Through
They,
it's the school that would approve the amount. Like it's something between the school. Like the school will give the semester tuition amount, then the living expenses. That is what the Empower would disperse to the school. I have to agree to it. Then Empower would disperse to the school before I take.
so if I
But the
understand
thing
you
is,
correctly, they don't give you any lump sum of money, which is not tuition.
directly to me, no. They take it. It goes to the school. Like on my I-20 is list. It's been stated um 21,000 for tuition, then 18,000 for living expenses. So they will now break it down for a semester. So the semester maybe 10,000 for my tuition and probably 8,000 or 10,000
Then
for
it
my
means
living
that
expenses.
the person that I
That's
got
what they'll
from
give to the school.
the person I got the information from is from Zimbabwe, right? So I don't know if it's Empower Zimbabwe, because Empower Zimbabwe
Okay.
grants you an amount of money that will be able to take care of your loan repayment. So like the person knows
Of
about.
course, it does. It does. It does. The amount they will give me in a month, I can't exhaust the amount for my just the amount for living expenses in a month, I cannot exhaust it. So from there I can be paying my loan interest. But the thing is, the visa officer would not the time to explain all these details is not actually there. That's the thing. If not, with the disbursement of Empower, I can use it to be paying my interest while in school.
So wait, so I want to understand this, because
Mm.
I was told that the money that you get, so how much did Empower say they are giving you for monthly living expenses? You guys, Eunice, I'm not trying to give you pressure. This analysis
No,
will
no,
help.
no, no, not at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, this analysis will help everyone on the call, because it looks like about 60 people, the person, so he helped them come to the US, do this visa interview stuff, right? About all of the
Yeah,
60 people use Empower and they got it. But my point is, people go for Empower with from Ghana and Nigeria and they are denied. So I was like, no, what's going on? Do
yeah,
you get it? And then
yeah.
he's like, I told them that you get this amount of money when you get here, and then when you get to the US, and then I'm able to pay the loan. That's why I did that calculation that I did. So I'm trying to see
Yeah.
what amount of money gets to you as the student while you are studying with Empower. Like in a month, how much did they promise to give you? And then you can actually quickly draft something around that money that they are giving you. That they are giving me maybe $1,000 for living expenses, but my rent is
Mm.
$350, right? And then I'm
Yes.
anticipated to spend an amount as a student, my food, because as a student, what else do you need? If I'm looking at myself when I was in school, after I go to Walmart, which is one of the biggest grocery shops in the US, like you barely have nothing to cater for again. If your rent is taken care of and your grocery is taken care of, so let's say you spend $500 in doing that, right? Then you are left with
Yes.
500 to say that you can make the loan repayment, because not everyone has a loan repayment of $600. So you get an extra money to be making the loan repayment.
Yeah.
So how much money did they promise to give you?
Like I said, I don't know for now, but it's a semester. Like the 1 year will be divided into two, and it will be paid the first semester. Like
Okay.
my 1 year is 21,000 for tuition and 18,000 for living expenses. So that will be divided into
15,000.
two.
So
That is
15,000.
20,000 for
Yeah, we
a
are looking at
semester.
the living expenses. So Empower is going
That
to
is
give you
10,000 for a semester. 10,000 for a
yeah,
semester.
$10,000 for a semester for living expenses. You don't even need
Yes.
to bring your dad in. So you anticipated, so 10,000. You can also you said 10,000 for a semester, right? And we have about four
Yes.
months in a semester. So it means that within a month you are getting about
2005.
2,500
Yeah.
as living expenses. Like,
Yes.
do you get where I am coming from?
I get it. I get it. But the thing is, the time in the interview itself does not allow this explanation.
Explanation.
That's the thing.
So yeah,
Yeah.
after you have understood this thing, so like, Eunice, you have asked me that how am I today I've been able to increase how many people I'm able to take on StreamYard. So you guys can see that 10 people are on StreamYard, which is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say you are the visa interview and you have asked me, Emmy, how are you funding your studies? I do see that you have an Empower loan.
Yeah.
Okay, so high visa officer, my studies will be funded by Empower Financing, because I secured a loan amount of 15,000 for my tuition, and a living expenses amount of 20,000 for my tuition. I This loan is very flexible. That is going to help me pay the loan over a span of 10 years, and then I start my loan repayment 6 months after school. Additionally, I'll be able to pay my student repayment, my interest repayment while in school, with the living expenses provided to me by Empower. So when you say that, the visa officer actually knows that this girl is up to something. So even if they cut you in, they know you are coming to say something, right? So until they
Yeah.
cut you in, you keep explaining. So my interest loan while in school will be catered for by Empower. Through the living expenses I'll be receiving monthly, I'm anticipated to receive an amount of 2,500 during the month, and then I'll be able to pay my student repayments, interest repayments of $600 during the month, because my rent costs an amount of $350. When you say that, the visa officer will cut you in and know that you do have an answer. So I think
Yeah.
this was a piece that we from Ghana and Nigeria were missing. That Empower doesn't just give you tuition, they give you living expenses as well. And that living expenses, I bet you, like as I was a student, my monthly stipend was 650, right? And you barely can
Mm.
exhaust that if you are not buying clothes or unnecessary things. And even though you plan to buy these unnecessary things, obviously that is not where you are explaining to the visa officer that I plan to buy clothes or something. Do you get my point? So to them, you have
Yeah.
2,500 at spend. So you try, even though there is no time, like that funding,
Mm.
that question about your funding is most like 50% of what the visa officer will base off to grant or deny your visa. So if you are using
Yeah.
Empower and they are asked you what is your funding, sis, you can explain until whenever the visa officer cuts you in and think you are talking too much. right? And even what I said right now with the explanation, I spent about a minute explaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think everyone on this call, I'm going to reiterate this every day until like everyone has gotten to know the story, because the Zimbabweans are getting it approved. And I was very happy to get to know about that, because I was like, why is it that people go with Empower and it look like they exhausted their option? Okay, so Eunice, how are you funding your studies? Hi, visa officer. My studies will be funded by the Empower financing student loan. I was able to secure an amount of 20,000 for my tuition and an amount of 15,000 for my living expenses. As per semester, I'm supposed to receive an amount of, or in a month, you let's do the monthly analysis. Don't talk about the semester. In a month, I'll
Okay.
receive 2,500 from Empower Financing, and I plan to pay a rent of $350, which will leave me with an amount of 2,200. I'll be able to pay my student loan from this amount and still be able to take care of my living expenses for necessities such as food, among others. Eunice,
Yeah.
if you are a visa officer and I come to you, if I someone said Ade said I hear different case in Nigeria about student loan. Ade, you can join the call and explain to us, because we want to solve this problem once and for all. Because Eunice,
Yeah.
if you're a visa officer and you tell me the story that I just told you, is it not a bit convincing than telling me that you went for a loan but your father will pay the loan?
Yeah, it's more convincing though.
Yeah,
That's why I
so
don't bring my
hopefully,
father's
like,
part
yeah,
up.
yeah, hopefully you should be able to get a minute or two to discuss it, like discuss the loan. If anyone is on this call and has a different idea, let's talk about it before we proceed. I just saw that you joined the call. Are you able
Yes,
to
ma'am.
what did you hear
Good.
about the Nigerian situation?
Yes, I was in a group actually. Good evening, everyone. I was in a group actually. So I heard that they don't used to approve any Empower loan or student loan here in Nigeria embassy. So I don't know why. Maybe it's a rumor. I don't know.
No, yeah, that's what we are saying. Like that's not factual, because that's what I'm saying. And I've seen transcripts. I think I've said it on this call before, that I do see transcripts where people get their visa approved even though they have Empower. So I think it's how we as Nigerians and Ghanaians are explaining this loan situation, right? That's why we are trying to come up with I did a call for about an hour to understand. I was like, okay, so they give you this amount, and Eunice just made me understand that it's not like the amount comes to you. You should approve the loan as a student, and then the amount goes to your school. But I don't believe that
Yeah.
the living expenses will go to the school, because they are not the ones spending it. So you eventually get
They
some.
don't send it to the school. They don't send it to you directly. It goes to the school. Then the school takes the tuition out of it, then
And give
pay
you
it
the
then
rest.
to you. That's when it comes to you. Yes, your living
Okay, okay, yeah.
expenses.
So you are still getting the money at hand. I think Eunice
Yes.
made even understanding more. So you are still getting the money at hand. So Eunice, let's start with your interview, but we are going to start with the funding part. Eunice, how are you funding your studies?
Okay. My funding comes from the student loan. I took out a student loan from Empower Financing, which covers my tuition and living expenses. The loan has a 10 years repayment plan, which I start paying 6 months, which I start paying the principal 6 months after graduation. And the interest on the loan will be paid while in school. And with the living expenses I'll be getting from the Empower Financing, I can use of 2,500 monthly. I have enough to pay the interest on the loan of $300. How about that?
Eunice, give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so I think that sounds better. Like, it sounds better. more convincing than telling me that your parents are going to pay 600, and they obviously know that your dad is in Ghana, right? Or Nigeria. So let's say
Yeah.
even if it's $600 and you're telling me your dad is paying in Ghana cities, 600 times, let's say, I think our money is now 15. So that's a lot of money. They know your parents are not going to be able to pay, like, right? So I think that the story is much better.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what
Please,
if the parent can pay?
you said, Henry, what did you say?
I'm asking if someone's parent can really pay the money and
Yeah, I
that's
think
their
that
story.
would be a different case. But in a case where you yourself, the case that you are presenting, you are not so confident that your parents can pay. But you know, we all make up stories, right? When we are going for the visa interview. So you make up the story, and you personally, you feel like the story doesn't like
Can
it's
pay.
not.
Why did you take out the loan?
Yeah,
I don't
like
know if
if
you
your
heard me. Yeah, because someone said that. I was saying, okay, my parents earn up to $100,000. Say if my parents earn this amount, why did
why
I
are
take
you
out
going
the
for the,
loan?
like, Henry?
Yeah,
Do you get,
like
Henry?
I
Do you
just
get
get
it,
I don't know. Yeah, yeah.
Henry?
Yeah, I understand it.
Because the question is, I think I've asked when I started this session. I didn't know that most of the stories that we are going with. I used to say that, hey, if your dad is earning $100,000, why did you then go for the loan in the first place? So maybe there will be someone on this call that have asked this question before, that if your dad is earning 100,000, why did you then like go for a student's loan, right? So
Because it is good to use other people's money as well. It's a
no,
business
like, so let me tell you,
venture.
the visa, like, it's easier to prove that your mother, your father, or your sibling will pay you for your fees. It's not good to use other people. The only other people that is guaranteed 100% visa approval is when you have scholarship from the loan. So this is not about telling me that you want to be responsible. So you are using someone's money to go and study and I'll pay back. They all know how desperate we are to leave Ghana. So let's not get it wrong that it's good to use other people's money to fund yourself. Even if you have your own money, they do question themselves that, why are you using these huge sums of money to fund for yourself? What is in it for you if you are coming back to your home country to do nothing? That's why even if you are funding yourself, you have to emphasize on you as a person. What do you do, and what is making you use all of your savings to fund for yourself and tell me you are coming back, especially when you don't have a really strong comeback story? It's never good to say I think that it's one of the myths of going for visa interviews, where we think that using other people's money is what guarantees you a visa. Now when it can you hear me?
Yes,
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 we
we
can.
can hear you.
Please, can you hear me?
We
Yes.
can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes, we can hear you now.
I think she can't hear us.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
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 we
you're
can
madam.
hear you.
audible.
Okay. So sorry, my mom was calling me. I'll call her back. So
Maybe.
personally, yeah, hello.
Okay, so I also have Empower loan. So what my relationship officer told me was that I should consider things like, so my total cost of attendance is actually 53,000. But my relationship officer for Empower loan told me to consider things like laptop, flight tickets, repayment of the interest whilst in school, so that I take more than that 53. So they approved me for 66,000 because of that.
Yeah, that's another good point, because some of us, we know we don't like the loan, right? So when we are taking, we want to, if the cost of the deficit is 22,000, we want to take exactly 22,000. but we don't factor in all of these things, right? So if now is the time that you are considering taking Empower loan, then you want to I might as well take whatever will be enough for you. Just that the question sometimes is $66,000. Let's say your deficit was 45,000. $66,000 is obviously bigger than 45,000, so you could easily defend 45,000. But once that loan is able to help you pay for your loan repayment, because me, when people send me their transcripts, I'm like, how do you plan to do the loan repayment? And then they'll go ahead saying that my dad, who is a farmer, is going to help me pay the loan repayment of $700, even if the dollar was 10 cedis. Sorry to the Nigerians, but even if the dollar is 10 cedis, that's like 7,000 every month. As a farmer, no. Like, do you get what the argument is stemming from? So you want to make sure that you have taken into consideration. If you don't have a strong story, as the fact that your parents are sponsored you, there are people who are genuinely rich. And that one, the person maybe has given you their guarantee letter. You have sent a credible bank statement. Sometimes the visa officers deny us based off all their own reasons, which is not even like doesn't make sense. But if you have credible reasons, I don't know why you would say your parents are still paying your loan and then they will deny you. But if you know genuinely that you went for this bank statement from somewhere and they put your dad's name on it, and now you're about to justify that you are going to get the loan repaid, then there's a question mark right there. Yeah, and I think it's good that we've discussed this. So if you're on this call, you are using Empower. I always say that go with so much confidence like any other loan. But right now we are telling a different story that I got a student loan from Empower, which covers my tuition and my living expenses. You want to go ahead to tell how much you are making, you are going to get from Empower every month, how much maybe the person told me the people say like they anticipate to pay rent of $350, and then the remaining amount they can take some for their food. And so you'll be left to this huge sum of money. Let's say in the case of Eunice, you'll be left to like, let's say last you'll be left to 1,200 out of the 2,500 to make loan repayments, right? While you are in school. So it sounds like a better story than telling me that your mom, who is a peasant trader, can help you pay the loan. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to hearing these stories, and then we'll see the scrutiny when it comes to telling the story.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
I think Alfred is going with Empower loan, so maybe he should take his turn first.
Yeah. Okay, so let me finish with Eunice, and then we know that Eunice is done. Okay, so Eunice, what are your plans after school?
Upon graduation, I would return back to my home country to take up a role as information security officer at Ethnos Cyber Limited, where I'll be earning an annual income of $60,000, with which I'll be, I don't know if if I should mention, which I'll use to pay off my student loan. I don't know if I should
No,
add that
so
in it.
Eunice, what are your plans after school? After school, I plan to come back to my home country to assume the position of an assistant lecturer in Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
Yeah.
Averagely, an associate or assistant professor in this university earns about $50,000 annually, which will be enough for me to pay my loan repayments. Now it's not an interest repayment. Now it's a loan
Mm.
repayment. So
And the
this will be enough
principal.
to make my loan repayment of $500 a month.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
you can say that it's perfectly fine. You just want to make sure that you have your facts right. That's why this one I've been even saying it even before I got to know about this amount of money that you get. I'm like, you want to research the amount of money, the or the occupation you are looking to come to join, or the job
Mm.
you are looking to come to join. If it's a cyber security, you want to look at the amount of money an entry level cyber security will make, right? And then say
Yeah.
that in my country, Nigeria, an entry level cyber security makes an amount of $80,000 annually. And so coming back to assume the position of this to solve this problem, like the whole problem and solution thing that we've been talking about, will help me make my loan repayment amount of $500 every month.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Eunice, so you've spoken about your funding and then your plans after school. Eunice, I do see that cybersecurity is a recently sought after job in the US. What if you get a job after school in the US?
My main purpose of coming to the US is to study a master's degree at St. Louis University, which I would now come back to my home country to take up the role of information security officer, because the rate of cybercrime in my country is quite high. So the need for experts in this field is quite on high also. So I'll be coming back to my home country to solve the problem of cyber threats or fraud in my country.
Okay. I'm approving your visa. So now I think there's a new thing that we need to inculcate in our answer, the part of the student loan repayment. So Alfred, I think Alfred is also using a student loan. Alfred, let's take you. Alfred, what program are you going to study and why are you going to study this program?
All right, I'm going to the US to study a master's in cybersecurity at the University of Alabama. I'm going to study this program because during my undergraduate research, I realized the problem that has not been attended to. I realized that people living with hearing and speech impairments found it difficult to communicate with the hearing community effectively. So I used my skills and knowledge gained in my computer science undergraduate studies to create a sign language to speech conversion system. This system
Okay,
converted sign
Alfred,
language.
how do you plan to fund your studies? I do see you don't have any scholarship. So how do you plan to fund your studies while you go away to the US?
Yes, so I've secured a loan of 66,000 US dollars from Empower Financing, which will cover for my total cost of attendance, which is at $53,000. The loan is a flexible one. It requires that I make interest only payments monthly whilst in school, and this will be covered by my personal savings of $3,000, and also I'll be receiving $2,500 from Empower Financing monthly for my living expenses, which I'll allocate some amount towards that also. After school, I'll come back to take up a role as an assistant lecturer at Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, where I currently work. I'll be earning around
Yeah, so the visa
80,000.
officer might not give you the chance, like Eunice said, to make all these analysis. So once you have the floor about how are you funding your studies, you quickly want to state the fact that you are using Empower Financing. And I like how Eunice broke it down that um this amount of like this portion of the money will go towards my tuition and this portion of my money will go towards my living expenses. The portion towards my living expenses will be disbursed monthly, where I do get a monthly amount of 2,500 as approved by my school. And then looking at my living expenses, my rent is going to cost about I wanted to mention that the rent part, so that the visa officer knows that you've done the research, right? So my rent is
Okay.
going to cost, students rent is about 350. So you also want to give an actual figure, maybe go on the student website to see how much people are getting in your school, and then say that your rent is going to cost about $350. And with that being a major expense, apart from food, you'll be left with this amount to be able to make your monthly repayment. The part about your personal savings can come if there is a further question, because that is just $3,000. So you want to emphasize on the repayment part or the living expenses part where they give you. Because $3,000, what if the visa officer cuts you when you say that the interest loan will be funded by your personal funds of $3,000? He didn't even listen to the part where you are getting the stipend from Empower to pay the
Okay.
interest.
All right.
Yeah. Because you might not get like 2 minutes. Some of them, once you have a loan, their mind are already psyched up, right? So it's up to you to make sure the person knows that you know what you are about. So quickly, you want to
Okay.
say that my studies will be funded by, like, my studies will be funded by Empower Financing. I was able to secure a loan of 66,000. This amount for my tuition and this amount for my living expenses. The amount of my living expenses will be disbursed monthly in the amount of $2,500, which apart from a major anticipated cost of rent like $350 and your food, you'll be able to make this loan repayment with the living expenses they give you. I think
Okay.
with this, I said it in like 30 or 45 seconds. So even if the visa officer has more questions, that's when you elaborate that you buy food of this amount, and which they might not ask. Is either the person is granting your visa or not granting your visa. And once they see that X20 that you got a loan, most of the questions are going to come from there. So you just have
Oh,
to be prepared to answer that question like solid. And then the person decides, let me listen to your other things that you have to say and see if I'll grant you the visa.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Alfred, so what are your plans after school?
After school, I'll be returning to my current employer, the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, where I'm going to take up a full-time assistant lecturer position. And
Okay, so also if you have a student loan, it's not just about making the interest repayment while you're in school. The other part is, what job are you coming to do back home that is going to make you be able to pay for such huge amount over a span of that years, like 10 years, right? So you want to find
okay,
a solid story about your back home plans, like what are you planning to do? Did you identify a problem? Are you coming back to your present place of work? Do you know how much a person in that place is earning? Are you able to make the monthly repayment? So, like, even in my previous videos, other than the live sessions, I do say that going with a loan is any form of funding. But usually, we as individuals have an extra responsibility of making this person know that I've taken a loan, I'm coming back to do this, which will earn me this amount of money. But clearly, I don't know if Alfred is a bit under, like, I've asked a lot of questions. So, Alfred doesn't have a great story about what he's come to do back home and how much that job is going to fetch him. So that becomes a bit questionable, right? If you are taking this
okay,
loan and you don't have a job back home, you are not coming back. So then, when we go back to the 214B, it says that you have to have a present intent of leaving the United States after school. Clearly, if you don't have a job home, then you do not have a present intent of leaving the US right after school. So then, even though you have been able to justify the funding aspect, the sufficiency of your funding aspect, you have failed the other part of having an intent to exit the US after school.
all right,
Yeah, so Alfred, I'd like you to like today, at least today, if no one took anything on this call at all, you are taking the part that Empower is giving us a certain amount of money. And if you think that your parents are funding the loan interest rate, and it doesn't you now you know, so this doesn't really add up or make sense, then you want to do away with that story. Secondly, you have the responsibility, the extra responsibility to find a better thing you are coming to do back home, so that they don't assume that you do not have present intent of leaving the United States right after school.
okay.
Yeah. So hopefully, Alfred, you join the call again tomorrow and let's see if we put together a better story. But I'm happy that we actually was able to come up with something better. Rukayat, are you able to do the interview now?
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Rukayat,
Ma, good evening, ma.
yeah, are you ready to be interviewed?
Yes, ma.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, ma.
Tell me about your program and why you chose this program.
My program is criminal justice, and I choose this program because of my experience during my 1 year internship at Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Organization, which fueled my interest to pursue my master's degrees in criminal justice. Over the years, Nigeria has been facing a lot of insecurity issues, which has resulting in total decline of national economy and disintegration in some part of Nigeria. I want to contribute to research which will be very useful to security organization and lawmakers to formulate a great strategic planning and public policy, which will help in dealing and reducing the rate of insecurity in Nigeria.
Okay.
Now,
Okay, got it. So how are you funding your studies?
I have a merit total worth of 43,000 awarded to me based on my academic performances and my professional promise. My father-owned company, Mega Life Sciences, will be responsible for my deficit. The company make a total annual income of $120,000 after the payment of tax and taxes. It is a
Can you pass me the
pharmaceutical.
company bank statement?
Here you go, ma.
So you actually have the company bank statement, correct?
Yes, ma.
And then do you have your father's bank statement?
No, I use the company to secure my I-20.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Let's go.
Uh, the company is a pharmaceutical company dealing with distribution and marketing of prescription drugs and medicine, and also supplying of surgical and non-surgical medical equipment.
Okay. Rukayat, what is your plan after school?
Upon the completion of my study, I will be coming back to Nigeria to retain the lecturing position in an institution where I'm currently working as a teaching assistant to help with introductory courses and also conducting a research which will be useful for security organizations and lawmakers to formulate a public policy that will help in reducing the rate of insecurity in Nigeria.
Okay. Why should I approve your visa?
Yeah. I secure a scholarship. I have a scholarship which show my commitment to my
How much is your
academics.
scholarship? $2,000?
42,000.
Okay.
Okay.
So why should I approve your visa? I should approve your visa because you have a scholarship and that's it.
Which show my commitment to my studies, and also I will be coming back to Nigeria to make an impact in my home country. And
Okay, so why should I approve your visa? I said that the visa will be an enablement. So, high visa officer, approving my visa will grant me the opportunity to go to the United States to study Master of Global Business Management at Arizona State University. This program will help me acquire knowledge and skills that will help me come back to Nigeria to assume the role of a professor in Lagos State University, where I am planning to solve the problem of this and then a solution. Then you mention it. So,
okay,
Rukiyat, you want to draft your answer for that question in that regard. Why should I approve
okay,
your
ma'am.
answer? Approving my visa will be an enablement for me or will grant me access or legal access to the United States to pursue this program. So that is how to know the scholarship, right?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, so Rukiyat, I can see that you want to come back to Nigeria or Ghana after school. What if you get a job offer in the US? What is your plan?
I understand. I understand as a student on F1 visa that I'm not eligible to work in the United States, and I will become, and I'm not intended to do so. I'll be coming back to Nigeria to retain my job.
Okay, I'm approving your visa. So the only major feedback is your why should I approve your visa or why are you here? So I'm here to why are you here and why should I approve your visa might be along the same lines. Make sure that you're getting a
Okay,
better answer for that.
okay,
Ernest,
thank
is
you,
your
ma'am.
network better now?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay,
Emi,
yes.
sorry, just a suggestion for Rukayat.
Okay.
So
Rukayat, you
if
have a so please listen.
if your company is sponsoring you, then it means you can tell them as part of the conditions you have to come back to serve maybe the company for a specific number of years. So you definitely have to come. You can't take another job in the US.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, I forgot to even mention that. So Rukayat, I think she's gone, but she might be on the call. So Ernest, Alfred is saying that you told us your company was sponsoring you. So what is your comeback? You want to tell them that you are coming to assume the position in this role because your company sponsoring you is an investment. Or even why should I approve your visa? Your company sponsoring you is an investment. So you want to talk along the lines that your company has invested in you to secure this degree, and so like that thing, okay? I don't think she's on the call. But Alfred, thanks for that call out. Anest, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Anest, tell us about how you are funding your studies.
Covers my food tuition and part of my living expenses. And also, I have an annual stipend of $9,000. My deficit of $8,833 will be covered by my stepdad in the person of Mr. Prosper Mensah. He earns an average annual income of $50,000, and he's the Southern Regional Manager of Olam Foods Ghana, and he has been working there for the past 15 years. He's in charge of the company's operations in the Southern Belt of Ghana.
Okay, you said you are using a loan of how much?
It's not alone, I've been awarded a graduate assistantship, so my stepdad will be covering my deficit.
Okay, pass me your stepdad's document.
Here it is.
Okay, so I do see that. What is your plan after school?
Upon completion of my studies, I would return to my current place of work, Faith Foundation Garnet International, to assume the role of the lead program coordinator, where I would be working with government agencies like the Ministry of Women and Children Affairs, as well as other stakeholders like the local governments in various municipalities, to address complex social issues such as early child marriage, period poverty, and also limited access to quality education, especially in rural communities in the northern region. One of the projects I would like to take up when I return would be to provide a secure
And then,
environment.
why didn't you pursue this program in Ghana?
I would like to pursue my master's in public administration in the US, because the US is home to some of the most impactful and biggest non-profit organizations like the World Food Program and also the United Nations Development Program Regional Office, which would provide me with practical experience and knowledge in the non-profit sector.
Yeah, so that's a good answer. But you also want to mention that, like you also want to mention, I lost my thoughts of thread. You want to mention what problem you are coming to solve in the non-profit sector, and then how you are coming to solve it. When I
Okay.
So that was a good answer, that you actually know some of the thriving non-profit organizations in the US, and that's why you want to study here in the US. Okay, Ernest, why did you choose the US? So basically, those two questions are the same. That's what I'm asking. So you basically can say the same thing. So I chose the US because the US is home to most thriving non-profit organizations, which will help me with the skills and knowledge to come back to my home country, Ghana, to do this and this and that. Or why did you choose why didn't you study in Ghana? It's basically the same thing. Ernest, so you did mention that the US is a home to most thriving non-profit organizations. What if a non-profit organization tries to poach you after school?
I'm I'm focused I'm focused to completing my education in the US and also return to my home country to assume the role of the lead program coordinator, where I would be addressing some complex issues facing the girl child in rural communities.
Okay, I'm approving your visa. So you have an assistantship, but your dad is funding it. Make sure that the bank statement is genuine. I can
Okay.
any feedback. If anyone has any feedback, that's fine. Yeah, Yao, are you ready?
Yeah, this is Hans, but I just chose a different tag name today.
Okay.
Goody.
Um, please, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How you too?
I'm good too. What program are you going to study, and why did you choose this program? I guess by now you might have put together some questions, or it's still
Yeah,
about the funding.
yeah, I'm still working on it, but I can give it a try.
Okay.
Yes, please the question again.
So, what program are you going to study, and why did you choose this program?
I'm going to study a master's degree in information systems in Central Michigan University with a concentration in business data analytics and cybersecurity. The reason I chose this program is that I've been into project management in the cybersecurity space. That's what I do now in my current organization. And I seek to obtain a higher position of a program manager in the space. So, an in-depth understanding of the two domains of cybersecurity and business data analytics will give me an upper hand after I return to Ghana to come and take a program manager position in the organization.
Okay, that's good. Even though you said you did put together something, that's a very good thing. Like you are working and then you find a higher position, so you want to get the degree and then come back to work in this position, and this even ties you stronger to your home country. And Miss, how are you funding your studies?
So finding my studies is into tithes. I'm using two means to be able to fund my cost of attendance, which is about 29,340, and I have a personal savings of 15,000. No, $25,000, and then the remaining balance will be taken care of my uncle, who is Mr. XX. He's the owner of an auto engineering company, a renowned auto engineering company in Telma here. He has an annual income of $90,000.
Okay, so
Dollars.
you said your deficit is how much,
It's 29,340.
and then your personal savings is 25,000, right?
25,000.
So
Yeah.
like today, I think you need to say in the comment that I like the funding version of today's session. So we are trying to see. I was trying to see a pattern of the visa denials, right? And most of these visa denials is about the funding story. So I might have given you feedback that that sounds perfect, but I want you to say that maybe your 25,000, the deficit of 29,000 is actually your tuition and your cost of your living expenses, correct?
Yes.
So you say that your personal 25,000, which is currently available, will be used as your tuition or will be used to fund your tuition. Additionally, your brother, I might prefer your, did you say your uncle?
Yeah, my uncle.
I would
It's
say,
because the bank statement I have is not my brother's. It's
yeah, did you, the thing is, did you put on your DS 160 that you have a brother? Did you put their name there?
no, I didn't put my brother's
Okay,
names there.
so the US is a place where like a lot of people are even married and they don't take their husband's surname, right? So like Ghana, when I say that Mr. Yawo is my brother, then you are expecting they are expecting us to have the same surname, let's say Otu, right? But in the US it's not like that. You can have five siblings with different surnames. So I don't think the bank statement should be able to tell the visa officer if the person is your brother or not, because this is you, that you are a very big person saying that you have $25,000 saved. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So your brother can equally have that amount of money. So it will depend on the age of the brother. If the brother is going to be a younger brother or an older brother that is going to fund for the remaining. So you are not even going to say the remaining of your deficit, because then it leaves me to my discretion. If the visa officer is not paying attention to detail about your I-20, then it makes me look like there's that huge deficit where your brother or your uncle has to fill, right? So the remaining of your deficit in the amount of this plus other living expenses will be catered for by your brother. Now I'm saying that you should do away with the story of an uncle, because Personally, I don't vouch for that uncle story so much because the uncle is an overly used statement in securing visa interviews, such that even genuine uncles are not even like people using genuine uncles are not even getting their visas approved anymore because because we do buy the bank statement or get a bank statement from different places. It's the easiest way out to say that it's my uncle. Do you get it? So you want to rather say it's your brother if you are able to, especially if it's not on your DS 160 that you have a brother or you did not state their name on the DS 160. The bank statement can be your brother.
Okay, okay. I'll consider that strongly. I'll look
Yeah,
at it. Yeah.
yeah, because most of most of the students are using uncle. So once you say uncle, I guess in the minds of the visa officers right now, it's like, oh, this story again. Like when we don't have
Yeah.
anyone to fund us, then we are like our uncle. Do you get it? So you
Yeah.
just want to make sure that your story is a bit different from what others are saying. And with your case, if you want to make sure you are telling them that the $25,000 is available to be used for your tuition right now, right? So
Mm-hmm.
my funding will be taking care of my my personal funds of $25,000. I've worked in the industry for, let's say,
About 15 years and over.
15 years. So my personal funds is available for my tuition. Additionally, my remaining deficit, which is more of my living expenses, will be my remaining deficit of, let's say, $5,000, which is more of my living expenses, will be catered for by my brother, who is in the person of this person and earns an annual amount of this. And he currently works at the Ghana Port of Authority because they don't know Tema, right? The person doesn't know Tema. So you want to elevate him. You are saying that he works in the Ghana Port Authority as this, and that. Do you get it? That sounds more convincing than saying it's your uncle, and then the remaining of your deficit. Like if the visa officer is not paying attention to detail on your I-20, then you leave it to the discretion of the person that how much is your deficit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I like the that even the uncle story was becoming too much. Even me when I was preparing it, I was looking at it,
Yeah,
but
everybody
it's
is using their uncle and it's overly used. But with siblings, the only thought is how old is your sibling? Is the person older than you, or like how that do they have family? But in this case, even if they have family, it's just $5,000, and someone having a bank statement of that amount should be able to fund you without having questions. So if you everyone on this call, actually, if you are able to as much as possible do away with the story of of an uncle, it will be helpful. But we do understand that not everybody has a parent or a brother that's able to sponsor them. So if it's genuinely your uncle, that's fine. But the uncle is an overly used excuse for funding, and so it's causing a lot of visa denials. So you want to be mindful of that.
okay.
Yeah.
So what about in terms of the work of, if I should put it now, my brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I state his actual work. I mean, he is, and that is his work. I mean, he owns an auto engineering shop. He's been running for like 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is in the figure of a senior brother. That is
Yeah,
how.
in the figure of a senior brother, that should work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I put it like that, and I'll state his actual work, his actual annual income, and stuff like that. And then also they would have to refer to the balance on the account. It's about
Yeah.
a hundred
So
thousand dollars on the account. So
yeah,
that
so
I
you
think that
can
should be
say
fine.
that this person earns an annual amount of $100,000, and this is reflecting on the bank statements as the current bank balance, right? So it's the story, the fact that like most visas are denied based off the funding, right? And now if you have funding, then like if I ask Mr. Hans right now, what is your plan after school? You are telling me initially you have told me that you come back to assume the role of a higher role in your company. Sometimes we forget ourselves because we coin these stories. You've forgotten that you told them that you are coming back for a promotion. That's a like, why are you studying this program? You told us that you want to come to the your current place of work to assume a higher position. because we coin the stories, we forget, and then when we are asked what is your plan after school, then you tell them that you want to set up a business. Right, that's right there is an inconsistency between why you chose this program and what you plan to do after school. And so that will, in the 214B, would satisfy that the person does not have the present intent to exit the US after school. Yeah. So, Mr.
Okay,
Hans, while you are drafting your story about why, what is your comeback story?
Mr. Yao.
Yeah, you want to make sure that it's the
I mean,
same. It's in the line with um saying that you are coming to assume the higher role in your company.
thank you. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
I
I'll polish it. I'll make it better. I'm sure tomorrow going it should sound even better
Okay, sure,
with all the
definitely.
input
That's
I'm
why we are
getting.
doing
Thank
this every day. So yeah,
you. Okay,
yeah.
thanks.
Are they?
You're looking splashed today. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Are they? Are you ready to be interviewed?
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready.
Okay. Are they? How are you? And why are you here?
Good evening, officer. I'm here to get my visa application approved so that I can go for my studies
Interview
in the
me.
United States of America for my master's in human development and family science at the Oklahoma State University.
Okay. Are they? You
Hello? Hello?
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Life is hard though. Are you? I said, why are you here? You want to? We've said this. I don't want to be on your top today. We have said it that you are coming to the UN. I'm coming to secure a foreign visa that will help me go to the United States to study. You made a statement there that you are coming. It was out of line. So you want to make sure that you are saying that the visa will be an enablement for you to go to the United States to study a specific program. How are you funding your studies?
Okay, officer. I got I I got a scholarship, or I got a tuition waiver of $9,283, which will
Mm-hmm.
be covering my 42%, which is covering my 42% tuition waiver. And
Okay.
my father, who is a medical doctor, will be paying for the remaining deficit of 34,000. He is a medical doctor and he has two.
I think we lost Ade. There's a lot of people in the room that is waiting.
Hello,
Yeah, I don't want to add everybody, so I'll just be adding you as we go on. Ade,
can you hear me?
yeah, I'm hearing you.
Okay, ma. I
Yeah,
think the
so
network is very
yeah,
bad.
yeah. You just said your dad is sponsoring you. You have your dad's bank statement, right?
Yes,
Okay, and you have that's the same name you have on the DS 160, correct?
yes, yes.
Okay. Ade, what's your plan after school?
Okay. Immediately after my studies, I will be coming back to my home country to assume the position of an educational policy analyst at the Nigeria Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, where I worked before as an assistant educational policy analyst. So I can help so I can help people with disabilities to further their education and to enable them to get more skills and to empower them here in Nigeria.
Okay. So what if you get a job offer after school?
Okay, I'm currently working in Nigeria, and these skills I'll be getting here in the United States will be helpful over there in Nigeria for me to help the people with disabilities and the young girls, the female girls that are disrupted of their education. So this will help a lot, and I already have a job there, which I'll be going there to resume.
Okay. I'm approving your visa. For me, Ade, it's just about the flow of your submissions that you have to work on. So far the stories are good. Yeah.
Okay. Ma, please, I have a question.
Okay.
I want to. I've not booked a date yet,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to pay for my visa fee tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, very early tomorrow morning. So, what are the things I will take with me?
I think for the visa fees, it's give me a second. I think they will ask for the person's phone number, the passport number, and then their date of birth. So if you are paying it for yourself, those are the things that they will ask. You just also want to make sure you're picking up the document because it might differ from Ghana, because I needed my sister was paying something like that, and it was her date of birth and her
Ah, we can't hear
passport.
you, ma.
Can you hear me? Are you guys hearing me?
I can hear you, Amy. I'm sure it's from
No.
his side. I can hear you. Can
Hello.
you hear me? Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
We can hear
Hello.
you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So yeah, it's your date of birth, your passport, and then your phone number. That's what they ask. It does anyone know what Ade should take along while he's going to pay for his visa fee, which is the MRV?
If he's paying from Nigeria, I
I think
think
Bello is trying to talk, but we can't hear
Yes,
him.
Nigeria.
hello,
Nigeria.
you are paying for Nigeria, right? You can just
Yes.
go to any GTB bank that is near to you. So I don't think they will ask for much. Just your details, like the passport number, date of birth, and
Mm.
I think that's all.
Yeah, passport
Okay.
number, date of birth, and phone number. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you
Thank
can,
you
if
very
you
much.
have a GTB bank, if you are running a GTB bank, you can do it on by yourself on your phone. You just download their mobile app. The option is there. You just click on it. So you just fill in the necessary details.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, and then once you have done that, you can actually date hands, right? I know that right now the date is staying in like July 2025 for Ghana embassy, but then you date hands, so you join these groups that people drop dates when they see it on the website, and then you just go on to book it. So getting the date is hard, but it's really not hard when you find the right groups to join, because people drop the dates in the groups, and then you quickly go on and join. So that
Okay.
should
And
not be a
Okay.
problem. Yeah. Yeah. Bello,
Thank
are
you
you
very much.
ready to be interviewed? Ade, are you done with your questions?
Yes, I'm done. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Yeah,
Miss
Bello,
Emmy,
are you ready to be
I've been
interviewed?
waiting.
yes, ma'am, I'm ready to be interviewed.
Okay. Bello, why are you here?
Now, I'm here for my F1 visa interview that will grant me the legal access into the US to pursue a master's degree in justice law and criminology at American University of Washington, D.C., with concentration on justice and public policy by considering the theories of causes and prevention of crime and delinquency.
Okay, Bello, how are you funding your studies?
I was awarded a for 2,240 partial tuition scholarship. My dad own business will be covering the rest of my deficit. His company generate an annual income of $160,000. It's a farm-based company that's into
Can I see
so
the bank statements of the company?
yeah, I have it here with his personal bank statement as well.
Do you have a guarantee letter from the company or the your dad as well?
Yeah, he wrote a guarantee letter which I submitted when I was um, trying to, for the issuance of my I-20.
I-20. So you don't have to leave that letter home. You have to send it as well. So while
Okay,
you
ma'am.
say that your dad is funding you, you can actually mention that you have a guarantee letter attached to your document, and then a bank statement from the company and your dad's bank statement, because I think you had a deficit of 50,000 or something. So you
Yes,
want
ma'am.
to make sure that you're stating all of that.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Bello, what is your plan after school? What do you plan to do after school?
After the conclusion of my program, I'll be returning back to my country, Nigeria, to assume a role of a lecturer in the institution I'm currently working at as a graduate teaching assistant, where I'll be taking undergrad students on courses like criminological theory and criminal justice system. I'll also be working on research that will help improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the Nigerian criminal correctional service.
Okay. What is one thing you've learned about the US and how are you trying to cope?
Um, I've when I was searching for the program for my program, I also search on how international students tend to survive in the US. So I see that most international students they tend to struggle with the weather over there. So I've been making necessary arrangements on suitable clothes I'll be wearing during my stay in the US. Also the food, I've been looking at food that will suit my taste. And also I've been communicating with my advisor on how I'll get
Okay, Bello,
affordable.
how did you pay your MRV fee?
Um, I think that is service fee, right?
Yeah, no. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, the service fee, sorry.
yeah. I actually use an agent, or I think I downloaded an app on Apple Play Store. So
So,
it
point of question to everybody, right? If you are answering your visa interview questions, stop using phrases like "I think," "about," things that do not create accuracy and precision. You want to avoid them. Like "I think," "I am about," like my sponsor earns an amount about. You want to do away with those words. You want to
okay,
say
man.
that your sponsor earns an amount of. If you say an amount of, it means this is the amount the person is. About means it can be less or more. And you don't want to leave it to the discretion of the visa officer.
Okay, man.
Yeah, so how did you pay your service fee? You said, I think I used an app, or I think, so you,
I
yeah, so
okay.
I
The thing
used
is,
an app. Yeah.
I've not paid it, but I'm planning to use an app. But
Yeah,
I'm
I heard there's
still
a pay for me app or something.
yes,
So
man.
let's say you are going for a visa interview and you are asked, you don't want to use, I think. I used the app to pay for the MRV fee.
Okay,
Okay,
man.
Bello, I don't have any feedback unless anybody has feedback for you. It's just the funding. I think you had a deficit of 50,000, if I remember correctly, and I was like, the
Yes,
cost of
man.
maintenance is high. So when you're
Yes.
stating that your dad's business, then you want to state that the bank statements are available. So at least they know that it's serious about the
Fine.
sponsorship. Okay.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Henry, are you ready to be interviewed?
Yes, finally.
Henry. Okay,
Hello.
we do not have Henry ready, so we are
I'm
going
ready.
to add
Please.
Annie and
Yeah.
Eric. Henry, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I don't
Okay.
know why.
Yeah, we were not hearing you, but it's fine. Henry, how are you doing today? Why are you here?
I'm here to be interviewed to enable me secure an F1 visa that will help me go to the United States to attend.
Is Henry speaking?
Hello.
Yeah, you broke off. So you are here to secure a visa to help you go to the United States to study a specific program at a certain university, which will help you acquire some skills and knowledge to come back to Ghana or Nigeria to solve a particular problem and provide a solution to that problem. Okay. Henry, how are you funding your studies?
Yes, I have a fully funded scholarship by my organization, and it is taking care of my full tuition, living expenses, and health insurance.
Henry, can I see the
Additionally,
bank statement of your organization?
yes, please, and the letter of guarantee. Yes, please.
How long have you worked in this company?
Almost 6 years.
What is the name of your managing director of this company?
Uh, for confidential reasons, I'm not, but I have the name. I can easily mention.
Okay, so I get it exactly. But I'm also trying to draw everyone's attention that I can see that now we are moving from the ankle to using most companies, and that's fine because if an organization is sponsoring you, there is that assurance, there is that sufficiency and credibility of the funds, right? But we want to make sure that we are able to answer all questions that may arise. Like you can't tell me you work with a company that is investing in your education and you don't know the name of the managing director or who is your direct manager, and then you be found wanting. So while you are seeing a company is sponsoring, you want to look at questions around those things as well. Make sure that you know adequate information about the company. Okay. Henry, what is
Yeah.
your plan after school?
Yeah, so my plan after school is to come back and take up the position of a deputy director, and then I will be spearheading our 10-year strategic development agenda, which is to set up mental health care services in underserved communities in Ghana.
Okay. You are in the mental health space, right? What is one
Yes,
solution you have provided to this space?
please come again.
You are in the mental health space, right? What is one
Yes.
solution that you have found or provided in this space?
Okay, so in the mental health uh, industry, one of the major challenges is the lack of personnel. Individuals who are in mental health counseling are limited, and together with my boss, we've designed a program that we train mental health professionals, and so far we've been able to train over 500 individuals who are licensed by the Ghana Psychology Council.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's good. Okay, so I'm approving your visa. You have a plan after
Thank
school.
you.
Nice. Yours, at least your company is sponsoring you, and you know why you're going for this program. Okay. Glory, are you ready to be interviewed? Glory, are you ready to be interviewed? Okay, I can hear Glory.
Okay, yeah,
Elijah, are
Pastor.
you ready to be interviewed?
Yes, please, I'm ready.
Okay. Elijah, tell us about your program of study.
Okay, I'm going to pursue my master degree program in chemistry at East Tennessee State University.
Okay. Is that all?
Okay,
So you don't
as
wait
a
for the visa officer to tell you. It's better they catch you in than ask you, like not ask you, is that because obviously they are not going to ask you, is that all? But I was like, tell us about your program of study. You want to talk about the program, why you probably chose that program, and the curriculum. So this program is a 30-hour credit hour course that will be taking over a course of 2 years, and or you'll be taking courses like global management, negotiation and communication, entrepreneurship. I'm talking about the courses I took. So it's basically just asking how much research you have done about the program, right?
okay, okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank
So
you.
tell us about your funding and your deficit.
Okay, I've been awarded a graduate assistantship with tuition waiver and then the stipend of $4,500 per semester due to my strong academic profile. The scholarship covers over 80% of my cost of attendance. Now, my deficit of $6,720 will be taken care of by my stepdad. He is currently the chief manager for innovation, strategic research, and policy division at the National Communication Authority. He earns over 50,000 Ghana cedi per month.
Okay. Do you have your dad's bank statement?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you said he's your stepdad because you put a different person as your dad on the DS-160.
Yeah, that's my stepdad.
Did you put him on the DS-160?
Yeah, I put him as the one sponsoring for my flight.
But you put a
But
different name as your dad
yeah,
on the
I
on
put
your.
my biological father's name on my DS-160.
Okay, okay. So it's good to clarify. But if you use him as your dad on the I-20, the step there would have made no like played no role. So it's
Okay.
that's
So,
fine. That's why I asked.
but can I still use him as my biological father on my DS-160?
I don't know about making changes and when it's going to reflect, but you want to make sure that it's just consistent with what you are going to say. So if
I've not yet submitted my DS-160 yet too.
yeah,
I'm yet to
then you
I'm
can use him.
as my biological father, right?
Yeah, if
I,
you now know that he's the sponsor, and
yeah.
whether he's your stepfather or not, we don't know, right? So you might as well use him.
Okay. But since you are not writing the same surname,
No, that's
that
not
is.
that. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, you just don't make The only thing with this is that most of us have applied for American lottery before, right?
Okay.
So like you've put your name on the lottery before, you've put your dad's name on the lottery before, and that is the same system, right? So if you put different person as your dad, and then unfortunately or fortunately for the visa officer, two documents are able to pull up with two different fathers, then it becomes
Mm,
questionable. That's why most of the time, I think I have a video on my channel, apart from the live sessions, talking
okay.
about the impact of the diversity lottery on your visa applications as an F1 person. That's the downside of applying for the DV lottery. So if you have applied to it before and you put your biological dad's name, then make sure you are putting your biological dad's name on the DS-160 to avoid any troubles if both documents should pull up in the system when you go for your visa interview.
Oh, okay, okay. Actually, I've not applied for that one before. So,
That's nice.
mm,
Yeah, me
okay.
they have applied, so
Ah, okay.
yeah. So that would be a better way. Your dad sounds better than your stepdad because
Mm,
um you know the issues with step parents and how how their committed can be partial towards us. So
yeah.
you can, yeah, if you want to do that, I think that's fine, especially once you've not applied for any American stuff before. Yeah. Okay, so
Oh,
what are
okay.
your plans after school?
Okay. After school, I'll be coming back to Ghana Education Service, where I'm currently working as a chemistry teacher, and I will use the knowledge, the skills, and then the experience acquired from my program to develop a hands-on lesson in Ghanaian classroom.
So which hands-on lesson are you talking about?
That's a practical lessons like how to concretize whatever you are teaching the students to
Yeah,
make it
so your
real.
problem is that we study chemistry in a very different way, where there are no labs, or even if there are labs,
Okay.
the teachers there are there's no teachers available. So that's what I always say. That find a specific problem, right? Your problem is a specific problem, but then the
Okay.
articulation was bad because we have learned. So you can say that why. So why how are you why or what are you coming back to your home country to do, or what are your plans after school? So over the years, currently I'm working in the Ghana Education Service, and over the years, you have watched or experienced teaching chemistry in a very theoretical way, which chemistry is a course that should be studied in a very practical way when we are able to observe the reactions that occur between chemicals, right? So as someone who has come to experience the American educational system, you want to come back to inculcate the practical aspects of teaching chemistry in your teaching method, right? So that sounds like a more specific answer to the problem than what you stated. I don't know if you can still hear me. Elisha, can you hear me? I think I lost Elisha. Glory, are you ready to be interviewed? Glory is not ready to be interviewed, so I'm going to take Sally and Goody. Sally, are you ready to be interviewed?
Yes, I am.
All right, Sally, how are you doing? Welcome back to today's
Hello.
episode. Yeah. Sally, tell us
I'm
about your
fine.
program of study.
My nursing degree program is a 4-year program, but it's going to be divided into two. For the first year, I'll be taking LPN courses, that is the license practice exams, which will initiate me into my bachelor's degree to be a registered nurse for another 2 years. And some of the courses that I'll be taking are anatomy, public health, psychology, mental health, obstetric, and physiology. After, I will take written and practical exam as the award of my bachelor's degree program.
Okay. Who is funding your studies?
My deficit of $15,000 as a result of starting the spring semester online. I have a savings of $1,000 from working as a nurse assistant for the past 3 years, which I'll use to pay half of my tuition. I also have a study leave with pay, which I'll be using for any miscellaneous costs that may arise during my stay in the US. The rest of my deficits will be sponsored by my lovely stepfather, who happens to be the general manager of G&G Technical Services. He also owns 3 hostels at University of Developmental Studies, where he puts up for rent, and earns a combined annual income of $10,000. He has been the one who sponsored my 2-year nursing training at Nursing and Midwifery Training College, and he has always been interested in my career of becoming a nurse.
Okay, so you say $100,000 or $10,000? I heard $10,000. Were you trying to say $100,000?
$100,000.
You did say $10,000. So make sure you're not missing the other zero.
Okay.
What's your plan after school?
So my ultimate goal is to become a skilled nurse practitioner. This degree is going to help me take up a higher position at where I'm currently working, that's Ahmadiyya Teaching Hospital, where I'll be handling cases such as obstetric complications, that is postpartum hemorrhage. I'll also be educating mothers and public about certain disease conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and liver cirrhosis, because the cases of this condition has become rampant for people living in the rural areas upon my return in Ghana.
Okay, I think Sally has gotten better over the period. So, Sally, I don't have any feedback for you. Just make sure you don't miss the other zero when you're talking about the funding aspect.
Okay. The other time I messaged you, but I didn't reply.
The messages, I have 150 messages, so I've been replying, sir, and I'm trying to reply from the bottom. So that's why I like people to join the session, because like for 2 hours I'm not with my phone and I'm trying to listen to everyone's story, right? So when I leave right now, I have to go and continue my work. Like I work full time at Amazon, so I have to continue the
Okay.
work I'm doing, and then it's almost in the evening, so I have to sleep. I'll wake up, prepare for this live session. So like my WhatsApp, I'm hardly working on the WhatsApp, and I know it's bad, but I'll try and reply you. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, my interview is Wednesday. Hope tomorrow will be a
Oh,
section.
I'll reply you. So just send me a hi again, and then so that I can reply that message. Yeah, please, if
Okay.
your interview is getting close and you sent me a message that I'm not reply, just send me a hi again, and I should be able to. Yeah. So your interview is Wednesday in Ghana, Accra.
No, South Africa, Cape Town.
Hey. So like what did you say the family was steady live with pay and your stepfather?
Yes, and I also have a savings.
So what role is the 3 playing? The steady live with pay is covering your living expenses, correct?
Okay, I said it to I'll use for miscellaneous costs that may arise during my stay in the US.
And your
Then
personal savings will be used for what?
my tuition,
So your personal savings is how much?
$1,000.
For your tuition.
My tuition is 11,000, and I've paid 5,000 for the spring semester. So it's left
Oh,
with
you were the
6,000.
one with the complication. But the thing is, that's why I was like, you are in Ghana, right? Let's say you are in Ghana and you are telling me that you've paid for some. So it means that the program can actually be completed online,
Yes,
right?
but with nursing program, it's both theory and practical. And I've already started with the theoretical aspect of nursing, and I need to continue with the practical aspect of
So
nursing.
I
So
think
presence is needed.
with your funding, then you need to be clear that actually I'm already enrolled in this school and I've spent 8 months in this program, right? So currently I've paid 6,000 of my tuition, and my remaining tuition will be funded by, do you get what I'm saying? Because when
Okay.
you say you have a personal savings of $1,000, that'll be used to cover your tuition. Like the visa officer might not say they don't understand, but they don't understand. And it might seem like you are lying.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to state that actually I've been enrolled, and then if they ask you the follow-up question that if you're already enrolled in this program, why are you coming for the visa? Then you can say that because a nursing program is composed both of practicals and a theoretical section. The theoretical section was you were able to complete in person, but then you are expected to be in the US to be able to complete your practical aspect of your program. So you want to explain it, because saying $1,000 to be used as your tuition, that's what I'm saying. So you just send me a message and let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. Goody, are you ready to be interviewed?
Yes, I
Hello, good.
am.
Yeah. Okay. Goody, what? How are you doing? And Why are you here?
Good evening. I'm here to be interviewed for my F1 student visa, which will give me access to the United States of America, specifically SUNY Ulster, to pursue my associate degree in nursing.
Okay. What's your plan after school?
Okay, upon graduation, I'm going to come back to Nigeria to be part of the healthcare that provides quality and genuine treatment to people and to my patients.
So in the health sector, there's a lot of specific problems that you can find, right? So you are finding a problem in the health sector, find a problem that is like a need, right? So what are
Okay.
your plans after school? Maybe you want to look at maternal health care or postpartum health care, like
After
find
upon conclusion of my studies, I plan to come back to Nigeria to be part of health care that provides quality health care, concentrating on critical and emergency care. Is that
yeah,
okay?
that's okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's better. Who is funding your studies?
Okay, I have a fully funded sponsorship from Chiwende Odunze. She is my mentor. She has been the one sponsoring my education right from the time I was pursuing my bachelor's degree in biochemistry. She's a nurse by profession. She earns amount of $30,000 per month and $144,000 annually.
And I think I asked you a question that what you have to establish your relationship with this mentor, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe you want to state how long your mentorship has lasted, that someone is interested in sponsoring your studies. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So what think I should like put in there?
Yo, so my studies will be funded by my mentor in the person of this person. My mentorship relationship with this person has lasted over a period of 10 years, and she's been the one that has helped me through my bachelor's degree and is committed to helping me through my master's degree.
Okay.
Yeah. Where is your mentor currently based in?
She's based in United States of America, New York City, specifically Brooklyn, New York.
So I think I told you that when they ask you this question, you want to say my mentor is based in New York, Brooklyn, but personally I plan to come back to Ghana or Nigeria after school to pursue or help this problem. So you didn't say that part. I remember giving you that feedback.
Yes, good,
Because
yes.
once your sponsor is in the US, you want to in the US, sorry, you want to establish your strong relationship with the person again.
Okay.
Yeah. Hazmat, Hamat, are you ready to be interviewed?
Thank you, ma'am.
No problem, Goody. Hamat, are you ready to be interviewed? You are muted. Hello, you are muted. Let me unmute you, okay? Yeah, hello. We can't hear you. Are you using a earpiece?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah, what program are you going to study and why are you going to study this program?
No, I am not.
I can't hear you. Are you speaking?
Yeah, I'm going to pursue a Master's of Business Administration professional at Seattle University.
Okay, who is funding your studies?
Yeah, my studies will be funded by a combination of a personal savings, scholarship, and financial support from my elder brother.
How much is your elder brother funding you?
Yeah, he's funding me with an amount of $20,000 per annum, with a duration of 2 years.
Okay, so I think your funding story, you have to elaborate on it because you don't leave it to the discretion of the visa officer how much personal savings you are using, how much scholarship you got, or how much of funds that your mentor, your brother is giving you, right? So you want to say that maybe it's going to be a combination of the three with your personal savings for your tuition, your elder brother will cover your miscellaneous expenses. Like break it down how it's going to be, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. What's your plan after school?
Yeah, currently I'm working with the Gambia Ports Authority Cooperative Credit Union as an assistant finance manager. Upon completion of my studies, I'll be returning to my home country to join this company because they have granted me 2 years study leave with salary. So I will come back to assume top leadership responsibilities where I will implement modern business practices to expand the organizational operations. Additionally, I plan to set up my own business in the long run because currently we only have 8 auditing firms that are practicing in the Gambia, which is a challenge we face as a country, and I want to be part of those providing a lasting solutions to these problems.
Okay, that sounds good. So my only problem with you is your funding story. You are using a combination of three stuff, right? So you want to make sure that you are not leaving to the discretion of the visa officer who is funding what. So you want to state that, okay?
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Yeah,
Uh,
although Aloy, how are you and how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean,
How are you funding your studies?
yeah, I will be funding my studies in four different ways. I have secured the scholarship of $4,800 given to me by the school, a merit-based scholarship, and also I'll be adding a personal fund of $3,000, and I'm also on study leave with pay from my organization, the Nigerian Space Agency, and also have secured an Empower loan that will be covering for the rest of my deficits. I've gotten a loan of 76,000 from Empower loan, and I'll be paying this interest on the loan while I'm in school, because I'll be having enough money from the Empower. After catering for my living expenses, I'll still be having enough money that I'll be paying for my interest in loan. And also, I have also set aside about $10,000 for this purpose.
Okay. What is your plan after school?
Yeah, upon completion of my program, I'll be coming back to my current employer, back to Nigeria, the Nigerian Space Agency, to pick up a higher role as a data analyst, where I'll be giving an insight to problem of data-driven decisions using the AI technologies.
Okay. Why did you choose the program that you are coming to study?
I chose data analytics because I chose this program because of its concentration in machine learning and intelligence. It perfectly aligns with my career and my career goals as an engineer. And the university have cutting edge theories and experiential learning in their curriculum, like capstone, that will give me the hands-on experience and practical skills that I will need to bring back to my country to uh, that I'll bring back to
Okay.
my country to the
So
Nigerian
it's, it's
Space
it's
Agency.
perfectly fine if you don't have a concrete story right now, but you want to make sure that you're putting together a reason why you chose this program, right? And I always tell everyone that's joined this session before that you want to find a specific problem in that area of study and then a specific solution. So let's say you are you are in the cybersecurity space. Maybe you are looking at public theft or impersonation, like those kind of problems, and then you find a specific solution. So based off whatever research you have done in the field, find a specific problem and then attempt to providing a solution to that problem. So it's okay if you don't have a story right now.
I do have a story.
Okay, then let's go. What's your plan after school?
Yeah, I intend to come back to my country, to my current employer, to
Mm-hmm.
as a data analyst, to pick up a higher role and I'll be providing an insight to the problems, like problems of data that we have not been using, to give an insight to that data driven decisions using the AI technology.
So you have observed that their data exists for us to make data informed decisions, but we are
Yeah.
not using this data to make data informed decisions. So it's your plan to come back as a data scientist who are studying in the United States to make sure that you implement policies such as, then you list some one or two policies that will help your company to be able to make informed decisions using data. Do you get it?
Yes, please.
That's what you're trying to say. So make sure that you articulate it well.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So what if data scientists are in need in the US? Like we need data scientists in the US. What if you get a job offer after school?
Upon completion of my studies, I'll be coming to my organization because they are in full support of my studies, and also I'll be signing a bond with my organization for the period of 10 years, which will definitely make me to come back and pick up a higher role.
Okay, that sounds good. I think I'll be approving your visa today. Just make sure you're getting the story of why you chose the program. The specific problem and the solution should be clear. Okay, honey, are you
Thank you.
ready for your interview? Honey, yeah.
Yeah, good evening. Yes.
Yeah. Tell us about your program and why you chose that program.
I'll be going for my master's in business administration in Missouri State University. It's a 2 years program. No.
Mm? How are you funding your program?
Um, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm coming. You can interview someone else. Sorry, please.
You said hello.
Hello, ma. I'm not ready yet. Sorry, ma.
Okay. John, are you ready? Hello, John. Yvonne, are you ready? All right. I've
I'm ready.
admitted
Oh.
everyone. Give me a
I'm
second. Let me
ready.
go to.
Erica is ready.
Okay. Oh, Erica, you've been on the call for a while. I actually thought I've spoken to you. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll do.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah. Let me go to the comment section real quick, and then we can go to Mariam says, please, I have a question. My undergraduate transcript I'm taking to the embassy. Must it be addressed to the embassy?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to address the question. And then Mariam, I think Mariam is on the call now. Can you ask the question?
I wanted to, good evening.
Yeah.
Please, I wanted to ask, I'm going for my master's. So I don't know
Okay.
if the undergraduate transcript I'll be taking, if it will be addressed to the embassy, or I can just go with my normal school copy, my student copy.
Yeah, so when you're going for the interview, you just need every
Hello.
document in the paper. So I don't think the address should matter. It's just a transcript, right? So it will has your school name on it. If I'm getting you correctly, unless you are trying to mail them something.
No. Just the document I'm going with.
Yeah, you don't need to address it to anybody. It's a transcript. So let's say it's Lagos State University, then Lagos State University should be
Hello.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
for me also.
So we answered your question. With
I have
Empower,
another
what?
question.
Okay, let me listen to your question.
The second question is, okay, my father is the one sponsoring me. So
Mm.
he has a business account and he has a personal account. I don't know if I can take just the personal account with me.
You can take both of them preferably, but which one do you want to take?
The personal account.
Yeah, that's fine. But if you take both too, if you have access to both, that works.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have access to both, that works. But his personal account, because it's your father, his personal account should be enough.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Wait, are you done with your questions?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Thank
that's
you very much.
no problem. With the Empower, what I heard is that with the interest, you can pay even for the loan they give you exactly what you are saying. And even if the money you request is not enough, you can request for more. So anyone that is on this call, I don't know if you joined in the beginning. I think the first 30 minutes was trying to understand why people are getting denied with Empower and trying to make sure we are providing better answers. Tomorrow, in the beginning of the session, I'm going to address this as well. Right now we are going to focus on talking to the people on the call, and then if you want to join tomorrow, we can go over that as well, because I think that Junie said I like the version of funding today because it was very practical and we're trying to understand how we could solve the solution. And someone said, please, I want to join. I have pinned a link on YouTube in the comment section. So anytime you join the live session and you want to join, please go ahead and join that link. Even if I don't add you immediately, I do make sure that everyone that has requested to join is interviewed before I log off. For sure, I ensure that. And then someone said, Emmy, your studio is full. Obviously, the studio was able to take up to 6 people. Today, I made it up to 10 people. Obviously, I'm paying for that to make sure that I get 10 people in the room. So, pardon me if you stay in the room for long. I admit people and I drop people. Okay. Someone said, allow me to be in the room. I want to be interviewed. I don't know if the person is still on the call, but I just added everyone in the room. And Patma said, I think when you are mentioning the amount their sponsor earns, they should be precise using about and sounds like you are not sure. I think I addressed that when someone was speaking. It was like, I think I use an app to pay my service fee. You want to avoid words like I think, about. Make sure what you are saying is screaming precision and accuracy. And then Mariam says it should go with a printed copy of passport and biodata. I think that was when Ade asked that what should he use to pay for his MRV. And then Loshin Ghana, can I get a mock session too? I would like to join. Please join the link that I pinned on YouTube to join the live session. So right away, let's go to Erica. Erica, are you ready to be interviewed?
Mm.
Erica. Erica. She's been on the call for a while, but I actually thought she had been interviewed. But now she's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
responding.
I'm ready. I'm
Okay,
ready. My
Erica,
network.
tell us about your program and why you chose this program.
Please, can you come again?
Tell us about your program and why you chose this program.
Okay, so I've been admitted to the University of Charleston in West Virginia to pursue a 4 years bachelor's degree in psychology through research and experiment. I chose this course because I would like to focus more on industrial psychology. Since in my country, Ghana, where I come from, psychologists are more dominant in the health sector. Hence, I would like to be an industrial psychologist in order to um help in the workplace, in order to help at the workplaces to promote or to improve productivity and to also improve on the health, on the attitude of the workers towards work in the workplace.
Okay, how are you funding your study? You just want to make sure that you have actually put together that thought very well because you are fumbling. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So how are you funding your studies?
Okay, so my stepdad, in the person of Anest will be the one to take care of my deficits, as he has always been doing since my dad passed on
10 years ago. Also, I've been awarded a merit based scholarship of $20,000 by my school. Also, I have a personal savings of $10,000, which
So
I would
after the twenty
use to
thousand dollars from your school, how much is your deficit?
$26,800.
Okay.
Also,
Deficit.
I have a savings of $10,000, which I would like to use that to take care of any miscellaneous um
Expenses.
expenses.
Okay, what is your plan after school?
Okay, as I stated earlier, I would like to be an industrial psychologist, and as such, I would like to come back to take over the managerial position I have in my stepdad's company.
Is Erica on the call?
Goes on. I would like to be a lecturer. Hey, lecturer.
Hey,
Jesus, what
Erica.
have I been planting?
Erica, when is your interview? Because everything it's like you're under pressure.
Yeah, I just went through something. That's why.
Oh, I get you. You can actually join every day. We are doing this. I'm planning to do it till the end of June, July. Sorry. So you can actually join every day. So you can just log off and then, or you can just stay on to listen to other people's story and make sure you are okay. It's better to
Okay,
join tomorrow and then like you don't want to confuse yourself today. Okay.
okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Owusu Patmos, are you ready? Patmos.
Yes, I'm ready. Hello.
Okay, Patmos, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, great. What about you?
I'm doing great too. Patmos, tell us about your school and how you plan. Tell us about your school and why you chose that program.
Okay. My school, University of North Carolina, was established in the year 1887 for educating the American Indians. It's one of the best universities in the southeastern part of the country with a very low tuition rate at the cost of attendance. It has a population of about it has a population of 7,000 students. Okay, I chose to study cybersecurity defense because Ghana being a developing country, we're exposed to so many vulnerabilities in our banking, networking, and database sectors due to easy access of information by impersonators because of our weak security systems. Therefore, me studying cybersecurity will increase the number of expertise in Ghana to curb evolving cyber threats as we increase our security systems.
Okay. Patmos, how are you funding your studies?
My education will be funded by my uncle, Mr. Providence Osei Intri, who works at the Chano Gold Mines in the Western North region of Ghana. He's been my mentor and my motivator to achieve higher heights in education. He sponsored me to Rwanda and Dubai as part of my 20th birthday celebration in April.
Okay. Do you have your uncle's bank statement? Can I see?
Yes, please, I have it.
Okay, then you
Here it
had
is.
hand it over. So what's your plan after school, Patmos?
After completing my Bachelor of Science degree in cybersecurity, my goal is to return to Ghana to complete my 1 year mandatory national service, and after that, I aspire to work as a cybersecurity analyst in any networking company. But my dream is to work at Bank of Ghana, as that's been my dream since my childhood as a
So
cybersecurity.
currently where are you working?
Currently, I'm not working.
Okay. Are you a TA?
No, I
Okay.
completed high school 2 years ago, so I'm
Okay,
preparing
so
for
you're
my bachelor.
actually coming to study undergrad.
Yes, undergrad.
Why are you trying to study in the US when you can do your undergrad degree in your home country?
Okay. Cybersecurity is a very critical field which needs intensive training from highly skilled professionals to become a to become equipped with all the necessary knowledge I need. And Ghana, being a developing country, we lack expertise and the technological
So
innovation in this
I've
field of
always
study.
said that you don't want to downplay your home country at the expense of the United States because that also in itself shows an immigrant intent, which means that you may not have an intent of leaving the US right after school. So you can say a lot about the United States, but don't downplay your home country. So don't say that Ghana being a developing country, we don't have the maybe skills and knowledge between you in that regard. You want to mention why you want to pursue cybersecurity in the US, like US being an advanced knowledge and their advancement in the cybersecurity space and all of that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so you want to be mindful of that. Not don't play your home country at the expense of elevating the United States. Yeah. So basically, that's the feedback I have for you. The funding spoke about it last week, and I think the
Yes.
story is good. Yeah. Okay. How can see?
My interview
Do you have a question, Patmos? I think Patmos was trying to say his interview is this week. Hi, Patmos.
Hello, ma.
Um, Patmos. Patmos. It's a network. Okay, Pakwesi.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, are you ready to be interviewed?
Yes, yes, please. I am.
Okay, Pakwesi, why did you choose your program?
Okay, so I chose Master of Accountancy because I wanted to be an accountant. And in my quest of becoming the senior accounting assistant at the College of Engineering, Communication Science and Technology, I plan on studying Master of Accountancy to gain higher knowledge and understanding in critical thinking accounting issues and concepts.
Okay, Pakwesi, what's your plan after school?
Okay, so after a successful completion of my 2-year master's degree in the United States, I plan on return back to Ghana to assume the Senior Assistant Accounting position at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology College of
Where I
Engineering.
currently work. Make sure you're saying where you currently work so that we know that you're
Right.
returning to your current place of work. How are you
Okay.
funding your studies?
Okay. So I have a scholarship which makes me ineligible for the institution. The rest of my deficit will be borne by my uncle, Mr. John Kwesi, who was the deputy chief of highways and now owns his own construction company. He earns an annual income of 450,000 US dollars. He has been sponsoring me since my undergraduate level, and he's eager and committed to sponsor me through my master's degree.
Okay, why should I approve your visa?
Approving my visa will grant me the legal access to the United States of America, specifically University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, where I'll pursue my master's degree and return back to Ghana to assume the position of an assistant accounting officer in my current place of work.
Okay, that's good. So I think the feedback I have is what I said something about your being mentioned that is your current place of work when you're saying the where you currently work. Okay.
Okay.
Where why you are coming back here? Honey, are you ready to be interviewed now?
Yes, I think I'm ready.
Okay. No, you joined and you were not ready, right? I think you should just listen to other people's story and then join tomorrow and see if you can put the stories together because you mentioned that you were not ready, correct?
Yes, I wasn't ready. I'm still not ready. I just want to like ask one or two questions.
Okay, you can ask the question.
So I just completed my bachelor degree in fisheries, marine science, and
Okay.
I want to do my master's. I just got admission now. I'm trying to prepare for my interview. I'm doing my master's in business administration.
Okay.
And I know like the counselor, they're going to ask me why am I not
Why
doing
the
marine
major
science?
switch, right? So you
Why
just have to
yeah.
find the correlation between those two programs. Personally, I would say I might not get an answer for you on the spot, but there's always an idea around it. Like marine science, it to be able to be a successful business person, you definitely need a touch of business education, right? So you can send me a message and I'll try to reply that, okay? Because you are even
Okay.
here to put together, like pay your MRV and all of that. So there's more time to study. So just send me a
I
message. I'll
already
drop
got
my
an appointment date. I have an appointment date already.
which date is that?
August 1st.
Yeah, okay. We still have some time. So I'll just say send me a message. I'll try and reply that, and then we can see how we can put a story together. Okay.
Okay, ma.
I'll drop my number in the comment section. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay. Is that all your question?
Yes, that would be every. That's my question.
Okay. Dre, are you ready?
Hello.
Yeah. Are you ready to be interviewed? Hi, Dre.
Hi. Good evening.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Hello, ma. I'm sorry, ma. Please, just one more question, please.
Okay.
Because I noticed this pattern. Everybody is having like a problem and a solution why they are going to do their masters or PhD. I don't have any problem I'm solving for my country. I just want to do my masters so I can take over like a managerial role in my mother's company. She's old. She's going to retire very soon, and I'm just going to like take over the business at the long run.
Yeah, so that would be like like what is your plan after school? You can put all this together, that your sole interest to study a master's program and come back to your home country to assume the position of a managerial position in your mother's business. Um like something like that. Just to make sure that you don't plan to stay in the US, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
hello.
here.
Yeah. Let's do Dre. Okay, Dre, how are you doing today?
I'm very well. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Dre, tell us about your program and why you chose this program.
All right. I'm going for my master's degree in business administration. This is a 30 credit unit course for 2 years, 4 semesters. And I'll be doing courses in the area of supply chain, ethic, and corporate social responsibility. I'll be doing applied or capstone projects in data analytics. I'll be doing data analytics. And I chose the school. I chose this program in particular because there's an expansion at my current place of work in the Department of Supply Chain Management, where I've been shortlisted for the role of the senior regional manager. So upon the completion of this program, I'll be returning to my current place of work to assume a higher position as the regional supply chain manager, where I'll be working with the executive of the company in order to establish a regional distribution channel that caters for our new customer base in the southwest region of Nigeria. And in the long run, I'll be establishing my end-to-end supply chain management consulting firm that caters for the needs of small business enterprise in Nigeria.
Okay,
In the
did
area
you
of
say you have a scholarship?
yes, I had this. I've been granted a graduate assistantship that covers my complete tuition waiver and monthly expense. So my living expenses will be covered by my father, Mr. Ogunseson, who is a mining consultant for the past 28 years
So
and is on approximately 67 million naira.
I don't know if your rate of speech is very fast, and so if you are going for your visa interview, make sure you are slowing down. Yeah,
All right.
slow down so that the visa officer can hear you, because I'm trying hard to get what you're saying. Like,
Okay.
you
Can I
have
can
money.
I can I can I rewind?
Yeah.
Okay. From where?
So I'm trying to ask that you got graduate assistantship that covers your tuition. How much is your cost of attendance and what's the deficit?
Okay. I have a graduate assistantship of 21,600, and I have a deficit of 10,679.
So who is
So,
funding the deficit?
all right, my father, Mr. Ogunseson, who is a mining consultant, will be funding my deficits. He has been a mining consultant for the past 28 years and hence an approximately 67 million naira annually. He is also the CEO of the Bricks and Rafter Real Estate Company in Nigeria that has a portfolio size of 100 acres of land and rental estate within Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. And personally, I have had a savings of 6 million naira in my account from my work as a supply chain analyst at Server Solution International PLC, where I've been working for the past 5 years, and I earn a total sum of 420,000 monthly and approximately 5.1 million naira annually. So I'll be contributing this quarter to my living expenses as well.
Okay. What's your plan after school?
After the end of my program, I'll return to my current place of work to assume a higher position as the regional supply chain manager, where I'll be working with the executive to establish the regional distribution channel in the southwest region of Nigeria, which caters for a new customer base in the southwest region of Nigeria. Also, in the long run, I'll be establishing my end-to-end supply chain management consulting firm that caters for the needs of small businesses in the area of supply chain and help them in the area of supply chain surveillance, which is to for them to cater, which is to cater for them in the area of fraud and counterfeit products. Also, I'll be collaborating with professionals in the area of supply chain in Nigeria who are working in creating solutions to the problems of cold chain logistics in Nigeria.
Okay. I think you have a solid plan after school. It's just that you want to explain your funding situation in a very calm way,
Can
so
I
that
come again as regard that?
yeah, I think we did it the second time, but it was just the pace for me. And so you can join the session eventually. Like every day, I do the session. Just make
All
sure
right.
going down and then you're explaining it in a very calm way, so that the person can know who is funding what and what's the remaining of the deficit, right? After
Okay.
my time to leave was past a long time. I have to go and continue working. So we can
Okay.
talk about it more tomorrow when you join. Okay.
Tomorrow, right?
Yes, I'm doing this every day. At 8 p.m.
All
GMT.
right. All right. I normally see it the post in the group chat, but I don't even know how to. I just watch. But today I was fortunate to get through the link.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you
Um,
for what you do.
Thank you too. Pakwesi, I think I've spoken to Pakwesi, right?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I've spoken to you. Okay. Jan, I've not spoken to you. Jan, are you ready? Jan is not ready. Vincent, are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you
Okay.
too?
I'm doing good too. Vincent,
Oh,
tell us
please,
about your
this is Jan.
program. Um, okay, Jan, I started with Vincent, so I'll continue with you and then we'll end the session for today. I'm not taking anyone again. Vincent, tell us about your program and why you chose this program.
So, I am going to the United States of America to pursue a fully funded PhD program in plant sciences, where I'll be specializing in applied chemical ecology at the University of Vermont, Burlington. And then I'll be working in the Insect Agroecology and Evolution Lab under the supervision of Professor Yolanda Cheng, where I'll be undertaking a research project that will exploit ecology and seek to find sustainable alternative to synthetic insecticides to manage the invasive sweet mist, which on brassica crops, which is a devastating pest of brassica in northeastern United States. This project has enormous potential, especially for the environment and then consumer health. I chose this program specifically because in my line of duty in Ghana, I have realized that our farmers use insecticides indiscriminately, and this leaves so much residues in food produce that have great consequences for potential health. So this program will give me the requisite expertise to come back to Ghana and then embark on an education and extension service to educate farmers and sensitize them about the consequences of insecticides in the field.
Okay. Who is funding your studies?
I received a fully funded, I received a graduate research assistantship that covers my full tuition, my health insurance, and it also comes with a stipend of $33,280. This funding will be enough to cover both my educational and living expenses in the United States.
So that's a full funding. Okay. What's your plan after school? I think I have asked you that, right?
Yeah, my plan is to come back to Ghana and then take up a role as a faculty member at the University of Ghana's School of Agriculture, where
Where
I
you
will,
are currently working, right?
yes,
Yeah. So you want to add that.
all right,
Yeah. And then I think I've asked you questions like, what if you get a job after school? Are you married? So today we are not going
yeah,
to do all of that.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's take Jan. Jan, are you ready?
Hello.
Yeah, Jan, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. If you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so let's
Yes,
go.
I'm ready.
Tell us about your program and why you chose this program.
Okay, so my program is Master of Science in Hospitality Management, and I will be it's a 2 year course at Boston University, with some of my modules being in financial management, strategic marketing, business management. And the reason why I chose Boston University is because the curriculum sits well with what I actually wanted to do, which is research. And me having a background in hospitality management, where I did culture and tourism from KNUSC, I wanted to also do something in the same field, research. And Boston University was the university that actually offered that opportunity with the modules I was actually interested in. So I ended up sending an application, and I was fortunate
Okay,
enough to
Jan, who
get.
is funding your studies?
Hello.
Who is funding your studies?
Okay, so I was glad to have received an Empower student loan, which will be taking care of my first full year academic year. Yeah.
You are you got a student loan, right? Hello,
Yes,
Jan.
please. I was awarded Empower student loan. Yeah, can you
Okay,
hear me?
did you join the beginning of the session today?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, did you? I think we spoke about how to answer the question when you are using Empower Financing. The fact that you want to, because I'm going to ask you, how are you going to make your loan repayment, right? So you might not wait for the visa officer to ask you, how are you doing your loan repayment? You want to state the fact that you are going to get a um, monthly amount from Empower for your living expenses, which is then you mentioned the amount of money they are going to give you monthly. Someone said their semester was going to be like 10,000, so we divided it by 4 months, and that 2,500. So out of the 2,500, you are going to pay rent about $350. So aside food, you will be left with about 1,200, which should be enough to be able to help you make your loan repayment. So you want to do your own calculation based off the loan that was given to you by Empower, so that you know how much living expenses will be given to
Okay.
you, and then you know how much you are using for your loan repayment. Okay.
Yeah, please, can I come in?
Yeah.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was given I was offered a scholarship of 38,000 by the school, and a graduate assistantship offer, which has been confirmed. So I'll be,
So
and in
what?
fact, the
So
interest payment will be, I think,
the Empower
1K.
is
It's
how
1K
much?
per month,
1K what? $2,000?
75,000. It's covering my, yes,
Um,
every month, and that will be taking care of my sponsor. My uncle is sponsoring me.
Give me a second. Give me a second. How much of your deficit is being sponsored by
Okay.
Empower? Hello, Jan.
Empire is actually taking care of the entire cost of attendance,
Mm-hmm. So why are you
so I
saying
don't
you
have
got
any
an
deficit. Yes,
assistantship?
please.
Why are you saying you have an assistantship if Empower is funding your
Yes, it
whole
was
cost
part.
of
Yes, it
Hello?
was part of the admission. I was,
No, so if
I
you
was
got an
granted a
assistant,
graduate assistantship as part of the
yeah,
admission.
then it should waive some of the thing. If you go an assistantship, it should waive some of your cost of attendance. So is the assistantship waiving any cost in your cost of attendance?
Currently, no, but I was looking forward to getting there. Then I will cut
Yeah,
some
so
of the student loan off, and I'll
I
be using
get
my
it.
graduate assistantship to cover
Yeah,
that.
so you don't have an assistantship that is taking part of so that you got an admission, and then they told you that you are going to get an assistantship when you get there, right? It's not an assistantship that has been able to give you any reduction in your cost of attendance. So you want to say that you have secured Empower and you are going to focus on how
No.
much them, then you got me confused, right? So can you explain your funding situation?
Okay,
All right,
so
I
the
think
funding
I'm not hearing
situation,
from.
I got
Okay.
an Empower student loan.
Of how
My
much?
network. I got an Empower student loan, which was
Mm-hmm.
75,000, which was the cost of attendance for the first academic year.
and then you got assistantship of how much?
The assistantship, it just came with the admission letter. Okay, it was
Yeah, so
just part of the
usually
admission
if
letter.
you so listen, if you bring in an assistantship, then the visa officer expect that assistantship is waiving part of your tuition. But it looks like this kind of assistantship that your school gave you with admission, it's not waiving any part of your tuition. Do you get it? Right?
Yeah.
Mm? I
Yes.
think it's your network.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not waiving part of your tuition. So when I ask you how are you funding your studies, the assistantship doesn't play any role, because now you got me confused. I was like, wait, you have an assistantship and you are saying your empower covers your entire tuition. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes, I do get you.
So now you don't bring in the assistantship if it's not playing a role in your funding.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it will only play a role like when you say, why should I approve your visa? Because you played in a competitive application, you got admission with assistantship, right? But in your funding, the assistantship is not playing any role. It's not giving you any competitive edge because it's not taking part of your tuition. Your entire tuition is being funded
Okay.
by
Okay.
Empower. So that is what you want to speak to, because once you bring in an assistantship, I'm expecting that it reduces your cost of attendance. And
Oh,
for you to tell me that it is not reducing your cost of
cost of
attendance,
attendance. Okay.
it just got me confused. Do you get what I'm saying?
Hello, Emmy.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand you now. I understand
Yeah,
you.
just a quick one. Is there a possibility where you'll be given an assistantship and it will not come with any funding money value to
That's
it?
even something very new to me, because at least you should get like $10,000 be waived off your this thing.
I'm
But
sure
most of
John
the
is not
so
explaining his situation
yeah,
very well.
right, because it's making us confused, because
Okay. So if
most of the assistants, some of the schools too, they'll tell you that your admission come with a conditional assistantship. And the condition you have to satisfy is that you have to make it to the United States to be able to secure that assistantship. So I think, Jan, that is the
it
type of
didn't come
assistantship
that
you
way, if
have.
I'm allowed to talk. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, I think so because I have been able
The network is also not helping us to understand the
to
issue.
confirm myself with them. I think they sent me an email.
Mm-hmm.
They sent me an email to confirm that I've actually gotten the assistantship offer. Okay.
Okay.
So, but though it didn't come with a fixed amount that this will be waived off my fees, but I was just told I have an
Okay,
assistantship
now,
offer. So I should either accept or I should deny if I'm not willing to get
okay,
it.
so you accepted the offer, correct?
Yes.
And was this before the issuance of your I-20 or after the issuance of your I-20?
After the issuance of my
So
I-20, I
on
think
your
I
I
received it last week.
okay, on your I-20, what does the financial aspect of your I-20 say?
So it says personal funds and scholarship,
And how much is the scholarship?
38,000.
And then what is
Ah,
the
John.
and what is the personal funds?
Oh, my story is quite confused. And the personal funds was 55,000.
Ain't you know, you just confused that, and then you just wanted to confuse us, because like that's why we are saying a very important part of this whole thing is your I-20, right? That's why I took you back
Mm-hmm.
to the root cause, which is the I-20. How
Okay.
much is on your I-20 and what did they state? So it means that the graduate that, because everyone, there is no sorry for the other people who doesn't understand the language I'm speaking, but he's making me speak my local language, Kara. The assistantship,
Oh,
no.
Metichi, I'm from
Yeah, I
Ghana.
know so tree, but I'm just saying that the other people on the corner, tree, and our mama country. Because who say you got an assistantship? There's no assistantship that does not come with funding. Or if it's conditional, they will not even give you the assistantship. They'll tell you that when you get to the school, then you come secure the assistantship, right? So as long as you accepted the offer, so did you ask yourself where that 28,000 or something that is classified as scholarship? No, what type of scholarship is it? Do you get
It
it?
was a merit-based scholarship. Actually, the school
Which is the
offers
assistantship?
10,000 on getting admission.
Which is the
No,
assistant? It's not.
10,000 is when you get. It's merit-based. I think
So
I have to
you
get a
got.
number and get on WhatsApp.
Yeah, my number is in the group. You know what? Send me your I-20 and let's see, because I'm so confused and we don't want to confuse
Okay,
other people
okay,
on the call. Okay.
yeah,
Because at this point we thought your
exactly. No
assistantship
problem,
was
no
your
problem.
other part of the funding. All right. So right now I don't have
No,
anybody
no,
in
no.
the call. Yeah. So right now I don't have anybody in the call, and I've exceeded my time so much today, but it was worth
Oh,
it.
where's good?
Thank
Please,
you
I
all
want
for.
to be interviewed.
Mariam, you told me you don't
Please, I
want to
want
be
to be
interviewed today,
interviewed.
so please, I have to log
No, I
off.
did not. Oh,
Like I have a full-time job. I take a break and do this, and I have to go back to work. So please join tomorrow, and then I'll interview. I beg you, like I'm really begging you. That's why I was really hard on Jan, because I wanted to understand the issue as soon as possible and log off. I needed to get back at 3 o'clock, and it's 3:37. Please. I'm sorry, but that's how it's going to be. You can text my number as well, and then that one after work I can even reply you. And then if you are not able to join tomorrow, we can even do a phone call. Okay, I'm sorry. But I have to leave. All right, so without wasting much time, thank you all for joining. If you have any questions, you can text my number, or the group is also very effective because I had people get their questions answered on the page. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do all to subscribe to the channel and then turn on notification, because we are doing this live session every day. So if you don't see the link on WhatsApp, at least you do get a notification that I'm live, and then you can join the sessions. It takes constant practice and a cocktail of information for you to get your visa approved. So please make sure that you are practicing and then taking the feedback, even if it's not a feedback for you and it's for another person and you think it applies to you. Make sure that you're putting that into consideration. Thank you all for joining, and I'll meet you tomorrow. Bye.